The Pinball Network is online. Launching
Triple Drain Pinball Podcast.
All right, Tom, you hit the button?
For the last time, yes.
Perfect. All right. Hello, everyone. This is, my name is Joel. This is Triple Drain episode 2. Technically the third episode we're recording, but second with this name. I'm here tonight with Travis and Tom, like always.
Hello.
Hi, Joel.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Sorry, I fucked up the intro already, didn't I?
No, I think it's solid. It's a solid intro.
We're
just
good.
as good as last time. But yeah, we'll dive right in. We got plenty of stuff to talk about that we probably won't get to because we'll get derailed or head in another direction. But I thought it made sense. We should probably just go ahead and start with feedback. You know, we released an official Triple Drain episode. We didn't have an email, but we did get some Facebook messages. We got some different private messages, and a lot of the feedback was really pretty good. We got, I don't know. Well, Travis, you had a guy that said he couldn't listen to it, right?
Yeah, they told me they got through about 5 minutes of it, and then it was the worst thing they've ever heard. So,
yeah.
Maybe we're doing better this time. I hope.
Maybe a lot of sensitive hot tub conversation. People said we have chemistry. You know, I don't know. Well, it's great. I think we're faking it well, so that's good. But
yes.
But one thing that did surprise me, right, was, you know, I gave a very honest opinion of a person that we all know, David Dennis. Gave a very honest opinion of him, and not one person stood up for him. Not one. And that surprised me. I was expecting somebody to say, "Hey, come on, he's not that bad, right?" So maybe we're onto something. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know. Did you guys hear anything?
No, I think pretty much we all equally hate Dennis.
Hate's a strong word. Okay, hate's a strong word.
Oh,
But
no,
so what I will say,
not hate. We all. What's another word for hate? Like what's a nicer word than hate?
Loathe.
Loathe.
Yeah, there we go. We all loathe David Dennis.
Well, you guys make fun, right? But I heard that you two, behind my back, tried to get David Dennis on the show, right?
Okay, for the record, I was on David's side. And then he talks some maddish on the TPN Discord. So I was just like, I can't do it now. I can't.
So here's the deal, right? You guys tried to get David on the show, right?
Yes.
And the only reason I caught wind of this is because I saw the email. And I saw the email where he had to cancel. He had to cancel last minute. He goes, "Sorry, guys. I have to do my weekly volunteering at the nursing home." I saw that and I said, volunteering at the nursing home? There's no way. There's no way that guy volunteers at a nursing home. So I called it up. I called up the nursing home he mentioned. Believe it or not, they say he comes in every week and all he does is push down the residents. He just pushes them down. He watches them fall and laughs. That's what David Dennis does. And you guys tried to invite him on the show. I'm just saying, guys, David Dennis is the worst. Do we agree?
I mean, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah. I just followed up on the email. I mean, you let it slide. So let's see. Guys, try not to get him on the show because I think we could do better. And we did do better, right? We found a better guest. We have an extra ball tonight. And that extra ball is the one, the only Raymond Davidson. Raymond, thanks for being here tonight.
Yeah, it sounds like David Dennis couldn't make it.
Yeah, I know. Well, bummer. So
I
Raymond,
had a feeling we were just going to hear a click and Raymond wasn't going to be there anymore.
So Raymond, typically we call our because we've done this so long, right? But typically we call our extra guest the extra ball. But I know from a pinball terminology standpoint, you actually don't like extra ball. You prefer it to be phrased like balls to go, right? So this is 4 balls to go, isn't that?
No, God no. Get out of here with that.
And why does that? Why does that bother you, Ray?
Because it's different.
Oh, all right. So we'll stick with extra ball, but yeah,
it's ambiguous. If you see like a 1 and it's like, okay, do I have 1 ball after this? Is this my last ball? Is it ball 1? Like, it's just so much simpler when it's either a 1, 2, or a 3.
I think he's onto something there. That makes sense.
I get it.
Checks out.
But sometimes, when you have multiple extra balls stacked up, then you really don't know.
That's part of the fun. You're like, oh man, my game's over. Oh wait, I think I have another extra ball. Oh, I do. It's a little excitement.
Part of the fun. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, we have some cool topics to talk about, and what I'm what I'm going to realize very quickly is I am very much the odd one out here. We have 3 high-end competitive players and then me. And yeah, let's just dive in. So PinClash, Car D'Angelo with IE Pinball put on another amazing event, PinClash 2. This time was with Avengers. And I know Travis was in it, Ray was in it, and then Tom, your son, was in it. So
yeah, I wasn't good enough to make it, so
yeah, well, I wasn't either. If that makes you feel any better. But I would love to hear, I mean, go for it. Anybody who wants to go first, I'm happy to share my experience as a viewer, but I would love to hear somebody go first. Let's hear what that was like.
Well, I would be curious to hear from Tom as a parent, because it was your son playing. I'd be curious to hear it from that side, because you played in the first PinClash.
Yeah.
With Jurassic Park. So what was it like being a parent watching Neil play?
It was exciting. I mean, I was obviously rooting for Neil to play. But you know, it was fun. I enjoyed the wagering on channel points. That was something new.
Yeah. You can bet on a person. Yeah.
I was putting all my money away from Travis, and I hit big.
You hit big.
I was wondering what the spread would be if and when I played Escher.
Wasn't it like if 1 to 99? So you bet 99 points and you'd get 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was I really that far behind?
I mean, unless you bet on Trav, then you would get 99 for your 1.
Yeah.
I actually did bet on Travis, and it didn't pay off.
Yeah,
what really paid off was when later on when I bet on Luke, the odds were like way in Carlos's favor, and yeah, if the channel points were actual money, I might be retiring.
Yeah, wow, yeah. Well, I will tell you, Tom, I was a little disappointed in you as a support person, and the reason I say that is because. What I mean is Travis, he had a support person in the room, and we all knew who it was. It was Monica, because her hand would come out of frame, reach into the cabinet, and turn the little spinner and then disappear. So it was like this mysterious kind of Vanna White hand coming in. And, Tom, I know you have I know you have a successful modeling career. I'm surprised your hand didn't make an appearance.
I was there, but I didn't want to crack any cameras but no, it was Neil's day, and I didn't want to jump in front of the camera. I didn't want to do the rabbit ears behind them like sometimes they do on the stream when people are up.
That's fair. All right, well, that's cool. I mean, you've got to be a proud dad seeing that, and I know. Oh yeah. I mean, we'll get into some other stuff, because with one of your tournaments recently, your son had some success in it. So that's definitely got to be cool to see as a dad, for sure.
Definitely.
Well, Travis, we'll save, Raymond got a little farther than you. So we'll go ahead and start with Travis. Travis, what was your experience? Because I know we talked about this last week. You were purposely avoiding the bye. You wanted that entry, that first round play. I mean, what's your thoughts on the day?
Here comes I just let Escher win talk. Go ahead, Travis.
Yeah. I got tired, and I just wanted to go watch UFC that night. So that's what it was. No, so everything lined up exactly the way I wanted it. And the funniest part about my second round, those 3 particular challenges were the 3 challenges that I actually really liked. And whenever I did them in practice, I was just blowing through them. I mean, the first one was start a gym quest. So that's really easy. Just, spin the disc, get a hold of it, put it in the gauntlet, and you're good to go. But then that second one with the combos, usually I stick with Black Widow, Gauntlet, and Hawkeye. And for some reason, I just decided I was going to abandon that and try to go Black Widow, Gauntlet, Dead Bounce, and then probably restart it again with the Captain Marvel ramp, and then back up to Black Widow and Gauntlet. Because I had tried out both of them, and sometimes I'm just way off on that Hawkeye shot. But the moment I tried to do that, my first shot to the Gauntlet was I was just bricking it. Like, it wasn't nerves or anything. It was just like my shot just left me. And so as soon as that started happening, I was just getting frustrated. And then, it just one thing led to another. And let's just say I had a terrible second round or second challenge against Escher, which basically just made it to where I had absolutely no chance of coming back to win unless he just got so bored with the competition that he just turned off his webcam. So yeah, it was brutal. But I mean, I like the challenges. It was the challenges I wanted. I just played bad. That's all there is to it. There's no excuse.
Yeah, and I think you messaged us later afterwards, and you're like, "Dude, I just did that combo challenge and did it in like a minute or something." I mean,
and it's so weird. It's something that I'd done several times, and it's something I did several times afterwards. Because of course, it's like anything else, you know. If you do something wrong, then you want to try to think about it and fix it immediately and see what you could have done differently. And yeah, of course, it's completely different if you're playing on your own with nobody watching, you know, of course. But you know, I can definitely say it wasn't nerves at all. I just flat out just all of a sudden could not hit the shot. And it just, I mean, that's all there is to it. And I think even if I would have done it the way I normally do it, we probably would have been tied, or I might have still been down 5 points going into the final one. And I can't pretend that means I'd end up winning, because I'm sure if we were tied or if we were within 5 points of each other, I'm sure Escher would have had a little bit more giddy up for that third round towards the Hulk level 2 challenge that we had. So things probably would have still played out the way that they did either way, but you know, I'm happy I played in it.
That's awesome. That's great. And then well, Raymond, this is I mean, you obviously played in the first, you did the Jurassic Park one, and then and so yeah, this is PinClash number 2 for you. What was your kind of overall view of it?
It was fun because like the challenges kind of varied between like hard, like long and simple ones. So it was like you never knew, you had to stay on your toes, and it was also fun because like the person I was playing against the first round was we were like in sync like on the first 2 challenges. So basically it came down to that third challenge, and I think I struggled a little bit, but I at one point I was like, all right, I'm all in, because I think my challenge was like a gamma ray one, I think, or maybe that was the next round.
Yeah. Your spinner had something to do. I remember that.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember what happened my first round exactly, other than I remember being like on the ropes, and then finally like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I don't think I did it that fast, but I did it just fast enough, and I think maybe my opponent didn't like drained at the wrong time or something. So it's weird because you don't know until you're done how well you did. But that's what messes with you the most. So you have to not let it mess with you. You have to just pretend that whatever you're doing is going to be good enough, because if you think about it too hard, the pressure gets to you and you're going to miss your shots and flail. And so you just got to focus on getting it done. Don't worry about how long it's taking you. Don't let every mistake like freak you out. Just be like, okay, that's fine. I can still, if I do this is I can still get it done in this. Like, you just have to always look positively at your next, like, you know, what the next thing you can do.
What did, like, Tom, could you or was Monica, the stream obviously is delayed. Were they, did either of you guys have it on? Like, could you kind of, or did you have any idea what was going on with the other person, or no, you were in the dark?
I did kind of. I mean, it was still on about like a 6 to 12 second delay, somewhere right around there, but I had it on my big screen TV off to the side.
Okay.
And that's what was funny, because actually during my third tier challenge against Escher, Monica was there sitting watching it, and I thought I heard her say, "He's got it." So in the middle of my challenge, that's why I stopped, and I was just like hands off looking over. I was like, okay, I'm done. And then I noticed his timer's still going. I'm like, well, wait a second, I'm still going. So I just totally misunderstood what she said. But yeah, it's one of those things that there was a couple of times I peeked over just to kind of see where somebody else was at. But at the same time, though, it's like the guys I was playing against, Nick DeStefano, and then, of course, Escher. Yeah. I just made the assumption that they were going to finish their challenges fairly quickly. So I knew I had to stay going just as long as possible until, you know, things were done. Especially against Escher, I just assumed I had to move a little bit faster than what I normally do, which is, I don't know, it's probably a tactical mistake, because I even told myself at the very beginning of it that I was just going to go my speed and not worry about it. And whatever happens, happens. Like, let your opponent make the mistakes. You just keep on, you know, the right. So probably if I ever did it again, that's exactly what I would do, is focus more on what I'm doing as opposed to worrying about trying to hit something that might be out of my skill range.
Sure. Raymond, I remember yours. One of your challenges dealt with like you had to get. I think there was conversation of your spinner being lubed, right?
I got that same challenge twice in a row.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off. I was like, that was the one challenge that I just like, it was like, well, I might get that challenge once, but I mean, that's one challenge for the day or whatever, like whatever. But I get it twice in a row.
Yeah.
So like, because I didn't practice that challenge. I didn't lube my spinner. I didn't practice the left orbit shot. I was just like, that challenge is going to suck, but I'll probably get through it. And little did I know, I got it twice in a row, and I was just like hating everything. And like I got like a 9.65 instead of a 10 million that I needed. And like I kept bricking the shot and breaking the shot and breaking the shot. And that challenge was really mean because you only have 15 seconds once you start gamma ray.
Yep.
So 15 seconds goes by really fast when you're missing your shots. So it was like, if I would have just made a couple of those shots, I would have been fine. But when it goes down that in lane, it's so easy to miss that shot. Like, it's way easier from a trap than from an in lane.
Yeah.
So I'm like starting to wonder if I should have just like, when it goes down the in lane, like hold up the flipper, do a ski pass, post pass, and light up my shot that way, just to ensure that I hit it, rather than like go for the greedy full power on the fly shot. Or I should have practiced it more or something. At the end of the day, like I had my chances. There was a couple times where if I would have made the shot, I would have been done, but I just kept missing over and over and over again.
Even then, Ray, do you think your spinner was juiced enough though? If you would have did a ski jump into a post pass, do you think you would have been able to get the 10 million still?
Well, it's cumulative sort of. So like, the way gamma ray works with the latest code update is the first gamma ray you play, as any spins you get, your value will stay to the next one, and any spins you get, your value will stay to the next one. So I had my spinner up to, as long as you're consistent on every gamma ray you play, by the time you get to that level 2 gamma ray, just hitting it once should be fine.
Right.
Even if you only get like 20 spins, if your spinner value is at 250k, math, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Well, kind of, but it's doubled. So yeah,
right-ish. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that it should work out if you just can be consistent. So that was kind of my plan, but when you're missing a lot, the plan falls apart quick.
So you're saying even because you said you hadn't lubed your spinner. So I know we were joking around about Travis's lube and whatnot, but if you would have, do you think that would have made a difference or no? You still would have had
I don't think it would have made a difference because I was missing the shot too much.
So what I'm hearing is the next release of Avengers, instead of 15 seconds, it might mysteriously make its way up to like 20 seconds. That's what I'm hearing. There might be a slight tweak in there, huh? Yeah. No. Well, that was cool. I mean, I will tell you as a viewer, I mean, I cracked the joke. I was like, man, this is like my Super Bowl. Like I was loving it. I was loving watching it. And it was cool seeing the level of play increase, as the night or the day went on. And it got to the point where it's just like,
Carl's tier system is incredible. Yeah.
It's so well done. It's so well produced, but just the skill level, when you got to the finals or even the semifinal, I mean, all you guys, it's like, I play pinball, but what I do, I don't think I can call pinball if what you guys is doing is pinball like that. The accuracy and the ability to get the ball in control and where you want. Fantastic. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained. It was really, really cool to see. And it was great rooting for people, that so I don't know. Overall, I mean, an amazing event. I do have a question though. It's, you guys all have like nerves of steel. I mean, you guys have all been in competitive situations in normal tournaments, but like this is a speed run and you're in your house, right? And you're by yourself. So like mentally, how different is that? Playing that versus whatever being.
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
It sucks.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's like I don't mind playing with a group or in front of people, but it's odd whenever you're streaming in a competition and then you realize that there's a bunch of people watching or in a chat room, and you're looking at your camera and you're like, okay, that's how they're seeing me. For me, it's just odd. Like it's not. There's no pressure or anything like that, but it's just weird playing competitive pinball and then you turn around and there's nobody else around except for your wife sitting on a beanbag staring at a TV,
Yeah.
So it's different. For me, it's way different. I don't know how it is for you guys.
Well, there's all the Twitch viewers watching, so it's always exciting to like turn around and look at the chat and see the reactions.
True. But I mean, Shout out to Fox Cities Pinball. A lot of these tournaments these days are all getting streamed.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's cool. Like, I think it's exciting that people are watching, and more people than probably ever in the history of pinball in terms of the amount of tournaments that are available and the amount of options that are available. There's a lot of people watching. And what I'm hoping for, because I've met so many other people either online or even going up to District 82, there's a lot of people that are involved in pinball now that are interested in tournaments that don't even have an IFPA number yet because they haven't been able to play in a sanctioned tournament.
That's wild.
Yeah, there's a lot. And so I'm curious to see what the participation will be like. And I'm excited to see these people be able to start playing in the tournaments that we're playing in. So, I mean, that's why even Eric and Tom, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but don't you guys have in some instances, you have upwards of 20 plus people that don't even have an IFPA number that are playing in some of the tournaments up there?
That I'm not sure about. But
yeah,
there's quite a bit of new faces that just popped up during the whole shutdown, which has been awesome. And there's so many people that have kind of been sitting out too. That I mean it's going to be huge there.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of participation in some of these tournaments. I think that they're going to be bigger than what they've been in the past.
Awesome. Yeah, and I know. I mean, that's a good transition into our next topic here. But you guys all know Keith well. I mean, you guys have played with him. Ray, you obviously work with him. PinClash, to wrap it up. I mean, this is 2 Keith games in a row, and it was cool. Keith had like a little blurb. He had a little interview with Jeff. Do any of you guys know, like, does he watch, or does he, like, do we have any idea why he isn't participating? I mean, that's got to be really cool as a creator like that of a game to see something. I don't know.
He's the GOAT. You're the king. You don't have to play with us peasants.
That's what it is. Yeah. It's, I don't know, really, really, really neat. Really great event. I applaud not only all the participants, but then Carl, what he does. And there were people in the background and the announcer. I mean, what an amazing event. But yeah, PinClash. Awesome. Can't wait for the next one. But yeah, let's roll into tournaments. I know you guys all recently played in the Triple Open. And I think you guys all, there was a few different categories there. I think you all won something in some capacity. But I'm not the guy to lead this conversation. So
when are we going to get you up to District 82, Joel?
Yeah. I need to, it's enough of a conversation with my wife on trying to get me to Expo. So start sprinkling in some tournaments here or there would be.
Is Expo happening?
I think I'm like 95% sure I'm going. So I'm.
Hey, then you can play in the tournament there. Trent has there's a special format where it doesn't matter how good you do, you get to play in finals.
There you go. Boom. You're going to make finals your very first tournament, Joel.
Yeah. Oh, goody. Can't wait for that. But no, go for it. I mean, Tom, this is kind of, you're a big part in this.
Oh boy.
Yeah, go for it. Chat it up about that tournament.
Well, Raymond, you won a trophy, right? Did Travis? Did you win a trophy?
You know the answer to that, Tom Graf.
I was just checking.
I went 0 for 3. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So 3. You said 0 for 3. So I know there's classics, right? And maybe clarify that. So what
there
were the 3?
Yeah. Friday night was a progressive knockout tournament.
Okay.
And basically what that is you play in a match, and in a group of 4, everybody gets a strike except for the winner. So if you come in second, you get a strike. If you come in third, you get 2 strikes. And then if you come in last, you get 3 strikes, which really sucks. But
you get 10 strikes.
Yeah, and you have 10 strikes once you have 10 strikes, you're knocked out of the tournament.
Okay.
So that was the first progressive strike tournament I have ever played in, and I was honestly just happy to get second. I know Raymond won the whole thing, which was awesome.
So what was your final strike count? We know Travis had 10.
I had 7.
Ray had 7. Okay. And Tom, you had?
Well, I had 10.
10. Okay. So everybody, got it. Okay.
Okay. Wait a second. We have to establish something here, though. So when was this tournament? Was this tournament on
Friday night?
This was Friday night, yeah.
Okay, it was. Okay, never mind. Then my point is not valid at all, ever. Never mind. Because I was thinking, for some reason, I was thinking that this tournament was the very first one on Saturday morning. And I could have swore, wasn't it last time, Ray, you showed up, and of course, self-proclaimed not a typical Raymond-like player in the morning time. But then I could have swore last time you kicked all kinds of ass, and you ended up winning that tournament. Even though it was a morning tournament.
No, that was the previous tournament, District 82, and I did not win the morning tournament, but I crawled my way back after I woke up because I started the day off pretty rough, but then I crawled my way back and managed to cash. So I got 5th or 6th or something. So
that's what it was.
I made something of myself, even though in the morning I was just totally out of it. Similar thing happened actually, I think, on Saturday this time as well.
Yes, that's where you got the new phrase that needs, if Steve Bowden's listening, this needs to go in the pinball dictionary.
Oh, let's go. What is it?
I'll let Ray tell it. He came up with it. It's genius.
It's called it's buying the dip. You get last in your first couple rounds, and now you're kind of hanging out at the bottom rankings, but all the sharks have kind of swam to the top, and so your stock is low, but it's ready to just rebound, and so you have to play into that and just pop off a bunch of firsts, or at least slowly increase so that you meet up with the top group near the end of the tournament, and then you just have to win one match against all the really good people to get first, as opposed to a whole bunch of matches.
Well, there's a solid technique. Wow. So
I mean, I did.
You didn't do it on purpose, is what I'm assuming. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I just have to write something down in my notes here. Play Raymond in the morning.
Right. Yeah. Don't let him fool you. Last time I played him in the morning at Indisc, he scored $1 million on Dialed In, and then he walked over to, what was it, Black Rose, and he's casual 135 million. Then I forgot our third game, Ray. What was our third game? Maybe Black Rose was our third game.
Yes, that was. I had to take you to Rose.
Oh, Scared Stiff. Yeah, we played Scared Stiff. Raymond got bored that game. I think he took second, so he's a little bored. There. Then he came back and dominated Black Rose. That's what it was.
So Friday night, Raymond, you were number 1. Tom, you were second. Nice job. So
thanks.
So that was Friday. So what happened Saturday?
Saturday was not good for me. So I don't even think I should talk about it.
What was the first tournament? Wasn't it target match play?
It was the Classics target match play where you had to get, 20 points or 25 points? 25 points.
So
yeah, I'm looking up on Match Play right now for that tournament, the Classics on Saturday morning, and sure enough, I was just hanging out in third, second my first few games of the day. So
can you define Classics? What does Classics mean?
For anything pre at District 82, it means anything that doesn't have a alphanumeric display, I think.
No, it's actually anything that doesn't
DMD.
have a DMD in it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's why I meant to say alphanumeric display and earlier. Yeah.
Correct.
So System 11 games would be the newest in that category. Is that right?
Yeah, those are the ones you're hoping to draw for sure.
And it could go all the way back to
2-inch flipper Palooka or whatnot.
Yeah, Palooka, yay!
I actually like
Great
Palooka
game.
though. I got turned around on that one after playing it a couple times.
So how did you guys do? I think we all know where Travis was.
You know what? I did decent. I got what'd I do? 7th place. There you go. Boom.
Oh, is that the picture, Tom, that you post on Instagram?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or no, technically I got 8th. I forgot. I lost my tiebreaker.
It was 8th or 9th because in the
did
picture,
you lose your
Travis,
tiebreaker
Wait,
too?
are you which tournament are you talking about, Travis? Because the
Classics.
The Classics, I see you.
Scroll down.
Third.
It's further down.
No, you got 3rd in the Classics one.
Oh, that's the old one. That was the one we played the previous month. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
This
the next
one
page.
this one I played. I ended up having to play the Silent Assassin in a tiebreaker.
Who is Cassidy Melanowski?
Yeah, he was like the best 13 or 14-year-old player in the world, or one of the best ones, especially female. She'll be a future world champion.
There
World
we go.
champion,
Yeah,
no doubt.
So I finished just above you with 1 extra point. I was playing. That's right. I was playing with Tim Sexton a whole bunch. That was so cool. He came up from Chicago and he just crushed it, man. He hadn't played in a tournament in like a year and a half, and he just shows up to District 82 and he's in the top group on camera like the whole day.
Yeah, he played really well.
Yeah, he did. He's a nice dude too. That was the first time I got to play with him.
So who won Classics? Who won that one?
That was Max Senesac out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
He came back on, actually Neil had the lead going into the last game, and he only needed a point, and he ended up taking a 0. I think it was Trident, and Max just had a huge game on it.
I almost caught him. I was on my way, and then I got a little too tilt happy.
So I remember seeing that. So your son, Neil, got second. That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was actually tied with Scott Hintz, who's another Wisconsin player, and they went to a tiebreaker, and he beat Scott in the tiebreaker. So it's pretty cool.
Are there any tournament players out there that like only do classics? Like they just don't mess with any modern games, or not really?
I guess.
I mean, there's players out there. There's players out there that play really well.
There's some that won't play in classics. And then there's others. There are some that are like, well, I think I have a better chance in classics, so I'll play in that, not the other tournament.
I know at some of the bigger tournaments, like when the Open or whatnot, there are certainly people that just don't touch the main division. They just play classics.
Neat. All right. So that was Saturday morning. Is that right? That finished up in the.
Yep.
Correct.
Okay. And then what was is the main event? Is that accurate to say? I mean, what was the main?
Well, the main event happened between when we went out to lunch. That was the main event.
All right.
But then after that, then we had the, what was it? The double match play?
Yeah. The double up match play.
So explain that rule. Yeah.
So it's,
I started off with the old 0 or 2.
Ooh.
We get last. That was fun.
Ray and I did the same thing right next to each other. It was magnificent.
So the double up is basically a modern game like a DMD or LCD game first, and then the second game is a classics game. So alphanumeric down to an EM. So it's kind of like a mini Pinburg, so to speak, because you're playing 2 games in the same group. And yeah, that again did not go. Actually, I was playing good until I started playing against Keith Elwin and Tim Sexton, and then everything went out the window. Travis was laughing.
I remember that round because you got paired up with both Elwin and Sexton on Jurassic Park.
Every time I play Elwin, it's like everything gets thrown out the window. It's like I've never played pinball. He's probably like, this guy sucks. How the hell is he even in this tournament?
I saw it was so funny because I remember this. This was on the 5th round, and Tom comes up to me, and I never see Tom like mad, but he wasn't like mad. It was more like, why? Why is this happening right now? He's like, so I'm playing in a group with Elwin. You know what our first game is? I'm like, what, Tom? He's like, Stern Jurassic Park, Travis. Stern Jurassic Park. And I'm like, wow, okay. So what's the second game?
Keith Elwin got eliminated on Jurassic Park at the Open.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
That was my only saving grace in my head. But he was player 1, and he was up there for a while, and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be good.
So, Tom, how did your round go against Keith Elwin and Tim Sexton? And Jordan was in that group too.
Yes, Jordan did well. I think Tim did well, and
that wasn't the question. The question was, Tom, how did you do?
I took last in both games. So
that's pretty brutal when you get I think the buy the dip strategy is very efficient for the the formats where you're with the same group for multiple games in a row. So like that tournament, me and Travis both got last on our first games. But that meant we'll be in the bottom group for 2 games the next round, and we'll slowly try to try to work our way back up. Whereas it sounds like you flew too close to the sun. You pulled the Icarus.
Yes, definitely. Let me tell you guys a funny story at Pinburg that I had. I was having my best Pinburg ever, and I got up to 9th on the first day. And after round 4, I was at about 32. So lo and behold, my round 5 group was Keith Elwin, Chris Stevens, and Bob Matthews. On 3 out of 4 games I had never even seen before. I took a 0 on every game.
Oh.
Oof.
And it knocked me all the way down into B.
Oh, wow.
Did you get a medal for that?
I should have got a reverse medal, like an old, I don't know, melted one.
But hey, at least you got to play against them at Pinburg, though. My last Pinburg true. I played in, I was with an older woman who thought I'd never played pinball before when I played the grandma with the shopping bag. It was so sweet. It was. Joel, have you not heard this story?
No, that is a better story. This.
Oh gosh, yeah. So I played Pinburg in 2019. It was my first and only, and unfortunately my last Pinburg.
Yeah.
And I legit could not. I could get control of the ball, and I was fine. And then I couldn't hit a shot at all. It was like Ray Charles was trying to play pinball.
Wow.
It was so bad.
Hey, no need to insult Ray Charles, okay?
Oh my gosh, Joel. Joel, have you ever played Fathom before?
I have not played Fathom, no.
You have not played Fathom.
No.
Do you
Neither
know
had
what Fathom
Travis.
Is?
Neither had Travis.
Neither have I, apparently.
Yeah.
So the person who won our Fathom group or our Fathom game in round 1 had legitimately like 80,000 points.
What?
That was, yeah, exactly. And I had 29,000 points in the whole game. And I had a ball and a flipper, all 3 balls. And I just like bricked a shot, just drained. It was like that all tournament long. So finally I was at like a pivotal round 3 to where if I actually could run the gauntlet and get 12 points, I could put myself in a position to make a run at A, right? Or this might have been even round. It was like the round after the break. And everybody in my group, they're super nice. Like everybody's talkative, real nice. And they were just happy to be there. And of course me, I'm like kind of stewing because I'm like, I should not be playing like this. And I'm in danger of not just missing A, I'm in danger of like blowing everything up and not even being in B. I was playing so bad. So I ended up, we were on Dracula and Jackpot and one other game. And legitimately, I was playing so bad that there was this nice older lady that was in our group that had like a shopping bag on her shoulder and was playing.
With a bag on her shoulder.
With a bag on her shoulder. Yep. She had obviously gone shopping between rounds.
Uh-huh.
And she was actually doing halfway decent. And then she was telling me, she's like, yeah, I just now started playing pinball just a couple of years ago. And then she said, did you just now start playing? Is this your first tournament? And I'm like, damn. That's like the biggest trash talker I've ever heard in my life.
Just being friendly. I've said stuff like that on accident and just trying to make conversation.
Yeah, Ray says that to me every time we play. Every time.
Your first time.
It's just your first time playing. How adorable. How sweet.
Hey, listeners, if you want to get in Travis's head and you happen to play him in your next tournament, just ask him if this is his first time.
I was done for.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, how did the standings end up then with that one, the third?
I think
I managed to crawl back to get like min cash, so like 8th place. Travis, looks like you never escaped. You were in 19th. It looks like.
No, because we had our fun last round. Don't you remember that, Ray? Like we played Roadshow and Stingray.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, dude, that was amazing. You guys like we were just joking around like on Stingray. We were actually trying to pass the ball from the right flipper to the left flipper, which you never do in that game, just to try to hit a shot that was impossible, just for the pure challenge of hitting the shot. It wasn't worth anything. It was worth like
100 points each.
Yeah, like 200 points. Yeah.
Raymond, I'm going to ask you a very serious question here. Okay, if we're going to talk about hard and challenging shots, you've seen all four of us, including yourself. You've seen all four of us play a game that we all know well, Led Zeppelin, right? And in that game, there is a challenging shot. So if I'm asking you in all honesty here, can you rate the four of us from top to bottom on who's best at hitting that hermit target?
It's got to be Joel is number one at hitting that target because he just hits it without even thinking about it. And then I think Tom is like disqualified because he has a LE, so he doesn't have a target. So he can't hit it at all. So he's fourth.
He's number 4.
Oh, he gets bumped to fourth. Okay.
Suck it, Tom Graf. Number 4.
And then I guess me and Travis probably tied. I'm not sure. I haven't actually played a whole lot of Led Zeppelin except the couple times I've streamed it.
I'll put myself at number 3. I can accept number 3 as long as I'm higher than Tom.
As long as I just wanted to hear you say it right.
Let's go right now. Set up a pro. I want to go right now.
Tom, we already know you do not play on pros. We know this.
Yeah. So Ray, you said you haven't played much Led Zeppelin. How is that an accurate statement?
Well, like with the glass on, I don't know. I just haven't.
Oh, you don't. Okay, like
yeah.
I was like, you have to have more hours in Led Zeppelin than probably the three of us combined. I would guess.
But you got to remember, barely playing something might be like 50 games.
Yeah, that's
you know what
true.
I mean. Like that's kind of our version of barely playing something. We're not like these guys that buy something and then within 20 games are like, okay, ready to sell it, moving on to the next thing.
Well, hey. Another solid transition here, Travis. Speaking of barely playing something, the four of us have all had a chance to play Stern's latest release, Mandalorian. So I think it would be worth having a quick discussion. Initial thoughts. I mean, none of us are, I don't know, none of us have put, countless hours on it or something. So this is still probably early on views of the game. So yeah, I mean, technically, Raymond, you were the first one to touch the game. What are your just quick overall thoughts of the game?
I mean, I've only played like 2 or 3 games just when I was in the office and could play it. And it was surprising that the shots look kind of tight and difficult, but I was able to just hit them like without too much worry. And also like when you missed them, it didn't seem to like punish you too bad. So you could like gather yourself and like try a shot again or just try a different shot. There was also kind of flexibility where like I think you can hit the scoop to spot the ramp for your first couple missions, which is nice.
2. Yep.
Yeah, and so like the game just kind of it's a good time. Like you could just play it and like stuff happens. But then also I noticed as I was learning it a little more and more, I was like, oh wait, I really want these scope targets because that gives me a playfield multiplier, and if I have that multiplier with my other one, I'm getting 3x everything. Like, and then it's like, I started 3x. I better frickin' start a mission, start a mode as quick as I can. And then like when you have that super jackpot, it's like kind of like Game of Thrones where you have the battering ram lit and you got like 5x scoring going, and you're just like, I need to pound that thing as quick as I can, as many times as I can. So I had a great time with my couple times I played it.
No, that's great. No, that's awesome for you to get all that in just a few games. That's really good. Tom and Travis, I know you guys...
Joel, this is what happens when you get a high level player, a high level mind on a game.
Yeah,
this is what it's like.
He didn't even take the glass off and see what all the switches do.
I know. That's amazing. I wish I had that ability.
Yeah, but Travis and Tom, you guys actually played it together. You went out to eat, and it was like a bar or something had it, right? So you guys put a handful of games on it.
Oh yeah, we did. Tom, that was our first time playing it, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 games. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's the thing about the game that was most surprising to me is just like Ray said, was how accessible the shots were. Like when I looked at the right ramp, I honestly thought I was like, okay, this is a little bit smaller than what I anticipated. It just seemed like a really narrow shot. But then lo and behold, it was almost like you with the hermit
you can backhand
target
it too.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the shot, it was almost like just the ball had like a magnet on it to the
kind of
ramp.
Like the Dracula right ramp. You ever see the ball just get sucked up that right ramp on Dracula?
well, I don't really want to use this term, but I'm going to use it anyways. The kinetic satisfaction of actually hitting that right ramp and seeing the ball just fly around there real quick and come back to a flipper. I really did like that. And I like just being able to combo the ramps that way. Like that combo, I was very surprised at how satisfying it really was to go backhand right ramp, forehand left ramp, and you get into like an encounter, or maybe even get it to come back to your left flipper and you could ski jump or even backhand the scoop, with the foundry or the missions. Just the whole game, it was a lot more accessible than what I anticipated. Now, of course, there's some shots that I'm not a huge fan of, and I've talked to you guys about this, about the horseshoe shot that's kind of all over the place. But then at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know, whenever you're in a multi-ball and things are a little chaotic, like I don't have anything wrong with it, but I found myself in the games I've played since then kind of generally avoiding that shot, even with a super jackpot on there, that might be worth 3 to 5 million points. I found myself actively avoiding it and just trying to time things out, because on the copy that we have at CJ's, if you hit it flush, that ball just goes straight to the left out lane, like every single time. And I'm like, I can't control it. And it's like, I don't know, it's just a weird drain for me, but everything else, it's like the light. Oh, what's that?
You got to get the premium, so that has the ramp, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's everything on it though. It's just a lot of fun. Like the mini play field is fun. I really enjoy that. And I mean, it's not super easy, but I don't feel like it's super hard either. It might be a little bit grindy trying to hit some spots and get back up there, but it's still satisfying to use that single flipper, because that's not something that we've seen in too many games recently. So I really do enjoy that. I like the overall presentation of everything. Like the assets really pop out. And I mean, just to be flat out honest too, I mean, of course, there was a whole thing about whether Grogu moves or doesn't move. But honestly, if you just step up to the game and you look at it, he looks pretty cool underneath there. The child actually does look pretty cool. That's really well done. And that's basically from people that I've talked to on location that just have seen the game for the first time. That's the one thing that pops out for them. Everybody knows it, which is exactly what I think Brian Eddy was intending to happen. So, I mean, hats off to that. It's done its job. I mean, it sucks you in. If you like Mandalorian, you like this game.
For sure. Tom, what about you? What are your thoughts?
I think it's a very cool game. I like everything about it, really. I mean, the shots, like, Raymond and Travis were saying, they're pretty accessible. I mean, you can backhand the ramps, and the only thing I had really trouble with, I played it today. The only thing I had really trouble with at first was that mini playfield area, and just trying to keep the ball alive up there. And you kind of learn some things about it the more you go to it. But
probably depends a lot on setup too, like how bouncy it is up there, and the pitch and the
100%.
As far as like, I've been thinking about this. I know probably you guys have too. As far as in a tournament, I don't know how you're going to make that game hard. It's easy to start the multi-balls. I think probably have to take out the rubbers, or the posts on the side, the outlane posts, make it more drainy that way. But overall, I thoroughly enjoy the game. It's so much fun to play.
Yeah, for sure. And not to take it too big of a tangent here, but to random back question, PinClash, Travis, you had a strategy with your outlanes, remember? That you were like, where am I putting the posts? Do I take rubbers off, rubbers on? Quick follow-up. Were you right? Did that pay off, or would you wish you have done something totally different?
No, it actually worked, believe it or not. It did. And so what's funny is just kind of coming back to that. That's why I should have stuck with my original strategy for the combos, because that's exactly why I had it set up like that. So what Joel's referring to, I actually had my left outlane did not have a rubber, but my right outlane post did have a rubber. And the reason for that was if I had any rejects coming out of that Hawkeye combo, it would just feed directly to the left end lane. And I wouldn't have to worry about it bouncing around or anything like that. It would just feed clean. And it actually did end up doing that. I mean, it worked out. I just abandoned my strategy. But yeah, it's actually surprisingly it worked.
Yeah,
so,
it was an interesting strategy. But okay, so get back into Mando. So I've put a bunch of games on it. I'm quite fortunate. Zach and Nicole, many have let me with Flipping Out Pinball have let me borrow a game. Shill, right? We need our button.
You got to play with Dwight, right?
I
Dwight
did.
was on a call with you, right?
I was super happy with that. I reached out to Dwight and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be streaming this game. Do you have any interest in watching?" Basically, and he hopped in my Discord chat. I know Raymond's done that multiple times with me. Tom, I mean, I know you've done that as well. But it was amazing. He was the entire time I streamed. He was there. He was answering questions, talking things through. It was a lot of fun. And I know I'm not, all three of you guys are like, yeah, I can hit the shots, or they're really accessible. I'm not to that, level of play. I was bricking plenty of shots, but I would say overall, yes, it is fun to shoot. There is a lot in the game, which is fun. I know Dwight talks about that depth versus breadth of code.
All the things you can buy, the power-ups, adds a whole other level.
Oh, man. There's so much strategy really there that I can't wait for you big-brained people to start thinking that through. My brother-in-law says I'm a smooth-brained person. but the
Ouch.
Foundry, I mean...
He actually said that to you?
Yeah, he said it. Well, I died. I thought it was hilarious. But,
oh, no. We got to send Flaming Poo to him.
Oh, no.
We got to defend Joel.
Shout out to Chris. Yeah, he's the man. Anyways, but the Foundry, I mean, I know you're given the flamethrower at the beginning, and I realized I'm not even using this. I should really be thinking this through and when's the appropriate time. But the Foundry, there's so much risk reward there too. Do you play it safe and put heal on your outlanes? But as soon as that ball's over, you lost it. Versus the one armor is added ball save for your entire game. There's really some cool strategy there, and I can't wait to see how people really dissect that.
It's almost like a more direct Avengers Infinity Quest.
Yes, I would
sort of perk.
So Ray, I said that on my stream that when I streamed Avengers is a game that you're constantly thinking, you're constantly trying to figure out what am I going to do and how do you adapt, and it's like a mental workout the entire time I played Avengers. Led Zeppelin wasn't like that. I really enjoyed that about Led Zeppelin. You could really just dive in and get locked into the game. But I'm sensing that again with Mando. Mando is very much what do I want to do here? Does it make sense to go for Beskar instead of trying to relight my multi-ball? Should I go for Beskar instead and then just buy that multi-ball? Should I do, I understand I'm at an encounter level that's pretty hard to complete. Should I just go for hunter mode and then buy the ability to get through it? There's some really cool thought there. But I agree with what Tom said. The upper playfield is where I'm having the hardest time. And it's just getting the hang of it. And there are certain multi-balls in certain modes where there's very specific shots that you have to hit up there. The extreme left and the extreme right are difficult shots. So I know, Travis, when all the reveals and everything came out, I know you expressed some definite concern. I thought you thought that upper playfield was going to be a walk in the park.
I still think on the premium and LE, I think it'll be a lot easier with two flips.
I still think Travis thinks that it's going to be easier than it actually is, because I don't know if you've ever played Bonsai Run. That has the same flipper gap, same setup as the playfield in Mando, I think. But Bonsai Run drains you snap your fingers and it's gone. Now, Mando won't have that level all the time, but I feel like it's going to be faster than you anticipate. However,
I think it'll be tougher if it keeps changing on you.
Yeah,
well, I don't think easy necessarily means that you're going to be up there forever. But I think, because I've kind of discovered this with the mini playfield on Mando, it's if you can get the right bounce off the flipper, you can kind of anticipate your 2 or 3 quick flips. True. And you can get some hits quick. And then if you do drain out, you're just live catching on your right flipper and sending it back up the left ramp, and then you're right back into your counter anyways. And so I think if you have the right setup and the right bounce, it works itself out a little bit. So I don't know, maybe you're probably right, Ray. Once it starts moving that upper playfield, especially when it goes vertical, that will be a lot more difficult.
But I think maybe also underestimating the speed, because those flippers are probably the same strength as all the other flippers. So when you hit it, it's probably going to rocket. And if don't hold up your flipper or drop it. It's going to slip right through the flippers probably. But I'm sure there'll be strategies, kind of like Stewie Pinball. That can destroy you, but once you kind of figure out how each Stewie Pinball plays, you can kind of take it slow and methodical. So I'm curious, to see how hard it is. I want to play a premium.
Well, the one thing I noticed during the premium stream is every single person just holds up the left flipper, and so when the ball is delivered in, it's just immediately to the left flipper in a cradle. Like it's a safe delivery.
The game also does that for you for some of the choreography and some of the. I think it always does it when you start an encounter, so it can show you the animation.
Brilliant. I mean, that's great because on a pro, it does not. Like there were many times that I was trying to get into the encounter, and just the feed. You have just like a rubber up at the top. And to get that
if you
ball
swing at the wrong time, it's like strike 3, you're out, sort of thing.
It would just roll like it was. Here we go, time for the encounter, and just boom, right down. Like it would just dribble out, and so it's like, man, you really have to nudge it right. Or I've tweaked with the angle a little bit, but I definitely think it would be interesting if you guys are playing this in a tournament. You guys are going to have to adapt very quickly, with to understand how it's going to be set because. The more I play it, I do feel like I'm starting to control. It's not completely random. It is a skill that you can learn, but it's a fun challenge.
That excites me for Expo just because. So normally Expo tournament, it always has like all sterns.
Okay.
But usually people, by the time Expo rolls around, people are like, "Oh, we've played these games a million times. Like we're just gonna watch people do this, do that, do that." But this year, because of COVID. People haven't seen much competitive play on Ninja Turtles, Avengers, Led Zeppelin, Mandalorian. Like,
oh shit,
it's going to be exciting.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be fun.
For sure.
That means we might see like a Stranger Things, Ninja Turtles, Avengers. Wow, yeah, I didn't even think of that.
Mando Premium.
That is quite possible. That's why I'm curious. Does anybody know this? Is the Foundry, is it any different if the game's set on competition or competition install? Is it any different in terms of what you can buy or how much it is with the best car?
I don't know that. I could.
The only thing I know is that like competition modes in general turn off randomness, so it'll be the same for every player, like how much stuff is and what you can buy and stuff.
Well, I will say there is a good bit of control in the game because you can control what multi-ball you start. That's based off of the green stand-up targets on the right. So
really?
my daughter, believe it or not, this is the only pinball machine she's ever been excited. She wants to play Baby Yoda. But the only thing she wants to do in the game is spiders. She wants to see spiders. And so spiders multi-ball is number one.
That is wild for a girl, like a young.
She loves it. And what's funny is Deadpool, all she wants to see is T-Rex. So I have to freaking qualify my quests, hit my chimichangas, but like this one, Mando, it's the Boba Fett targets on the right will change what multi-ball you pick. So I am curious. It looks like if a game ends and I had multi-ball 2 lit, well, if I start a new game, 2 is the one that's still lit. I don't know. I'd be curious if competitively, if it's always 1 or what.
So Joel, I just realized something here. Yeah. That probably out of the 4 of us, you probably know more about the rule set than Mando.
Yeah.
So
the smooth brain guy over here. Yeah.
So if we were having to play this at Expo tomorrow, what would you tell us? What would be our tournament strategy on it?
Those are two very different things, Travis. Knowing the rules and knowing how to apply them in a tournament situation.
But I trust in Joel. We've talked to him about this. I think he can do it. I mean, Joel's a good. Okay, I'll say this for Joel. Joel earmuffs, so you can't hear this. I don't need your ego getting too big. Okay, but he's actually a pretty skilled player, and I've seen watching him over the past few months playing. He's gotten like pretty good. I mean, it's not just the hermit target. I mean, he's able to make the ball do things that I don't think, and Joel, you can admit this is true since you got your earmuffs off. Yeah. But 6 months ago, I don't know if you would have been able to do it. And now I'm watching you. I'm like, you're doing some stuff. So, I think we can push you there. So let's just pretend, for instance, that you have to play Raymond Davidson tomorrow, 1-on-1 on Mandalorian. Ouch. Like, how are you going to survive ball one? What are you going to do?
Oh boy, how am I going to? I mean, the reality is there's a lot of points in the encounters, and you can plunge. You can do a sneaky skill shot and get up in there.
How do you light the encounters? I don't even know. Or are you going to keep that secret?
Well, I'm not going to tell them, right? I gotta beat them. So let me fill you in. Okay, so you can actually plunge right up into that upper playfield, and that's what's interesting is there is a sneaky encounter is what it's called, and there's a lot of points up there. But to light an encounter, all you have to do is hit the left ramp once. So you hit the left ramp once, and then your encounters are lit. And then you can get back up in there. There's a lot of points of encounters, but what I was going to say is I actually cheated. I played a 4-player co-op game by myself, and you can burn through the missions really easily. You don't have to beat them. You just have to start them. So to get to
Joel.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this. Okay.
Yeah.
In a tournament, you
can't
cannot
do that.
play all 4 players. Yeah, that'll be be illegal if you try to do that.
I appreciate that.
Joel's going to be on ball 3 and be like, "Wait, why do I still have 4 missions left?"
Yeah, I would, but that's what I was surprised. Like I've done that with Turtles and gotten nowhere near Cowabunga because there are so many things you have to do, like very specific qualifying things. But in this, it's just do the missions. The multi-ball, same thing. Very easy to get through the multi-balls, but the encounters, that's where I have absolutely had the hardest time getting through those. But if I was going to beat Ray or try or attempt to beat Raymond, there's a 2x multiplier based on the stand-ups next to the right target. You can hit both of those, and you can have a 2x multiplier going. You can hit your Boba Fett targets. That's how you get another one going. There's one in the Foundry you can buy which will light whichever one you don't have lit. So you could get to that 5x playfield pretty easily.
Isn't it actually 6x because it's plus 5x?
It is. That math really messed with me because Dwight was saying that, and I was trying to understand what he meant. But then on top of that, you have your flamethrower shot. So theoretically, there's a lot you could stack up for a really big multiplier if you
now,
really
does
wanted
flamethrower on the left ramp multiply the encounter or no?
No, it's only a shot. It's just one of the main shots at the bottom.
But you can buy a
super
multiplier?
jackpot, though. You could get some fatty super jackpots.
One of the
you start out with flamethrower, right?
Flamethrower on, yeah. Now flamethrower is interesting because you don't tap the button; like you have to push and hold, and you have to do it at the right time.
That's what I was messing up with. Every time I tried to use it, it was like I just have the right orbit orange. What's going on?
You have to push and hold, and it slowly spreads across the playfield. So you really have to do it at the right time or cradle up. What I will tell you though, for you guys that all play trap, like trap players. I don't know if this is a new thing with Mando, but the screen, if you trap up, it's pretty quick that it'll make it so that if you're trapped and then you tap your center button, it actually just scrolls the screen and shows you additional information. That's and I don't know if other games did that because I was used to you trap up or you hold one of the flippers and then after you wait long enough, you can hit the other flipper to scroll through your, info.
The instant info? Yeah.
But this, no, you trap up, you hit the middle button to scroll through your instant. And maybe the other games used to do that. I don't know. But what I will say is there were times that I would trap up and be like, all right, I'm about to start this multi-ball. So let me go ahead and start my flamethrower. And I'd hit the button and I'm not. It won't, I can't start my flamethrower because it's scrolling through instant info.
Oh, interesting.
Or
I think try Turtles. I think Dwight also did some instant info back and forth.
I might have to do that because that messed with me. And then there's another one where if you get the Whistling Birds or whatever, the multiple shot, you could hit all your mission shots in one hit of the button. So it's oh, I got that. I should go ahead and light it. And I'd hit the button and it won't work because I'm stuck in instant info. So I'm curious if that'll mess with you guys at all because there'll almost be this I need to cradle up so then I can hit my action button. But if you don't do it quick enough, you can't do it. You'd have to post pass or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say just bobble it back and forth, and then use your chin on the center button and hold it.
You would have to do something, but that's one of those I'm in a position where I want to do it and I can't do it without getting the ball back.
Well, those ramp returns are nice and scenic, so you can shoot a ramp.
You could have some
and
time.
Use the return.
The left ramp especially, yeah. But the play, I think Dwight said for the flamethrower to do the entire play field. I think he said it's 2 seconds. You have to hold that button down for 2 or 2.5 seconds to get it to go across the entire playfield. So I don't know. There's some really cool stuff there, but I'm excited for you guys.
I think you might have just said the meta right there, though. Now I'm hearing all that because then it would be probably what flamethrower after you bring in your first mission and a multi-ball at the same time, right? You just go to town. And then you said you can buy a multiplier, right?
You can buy a multiplier. Well, it's not. So there's 3 multipliers over on the right, and if you get all 3 lit, it'll give you the 5 times. So,
but you can do the first one just by hitting the Boba Fett targets,
correct.
Right?
And I think
the other one is the you hit the 3 scope shots, so right ramp, target, and inner loop, and then you just have to. Does that instantly give it to you, or do you have to complete one of the? You have to do one of the scope hurry ups, right?
I thought it was one. I thought it was just one of the scope of the 3 scope hurry ups. One of them gives you Beskar. I think one of them gives you points, and then I think the other one is the playfield multiplier. I could be wrong. This is where I need to take off the glass and hit the buttons and figure out what happens.
The orange one, I'm not sure how you get that one. There's orange targets on the left, but when I was hitting those, it didn't actually give me the multiplier.
No, the orange, those are your hunter targets. So that's how you qualify a hunter mode. And hunter, when it turns it on, it becomes an in lane, and you can control that. So when you roll over that, it's a little mini mode, and that's the whole point of a hunter mode is just for Beskar. It's like the fastest
and multiplier apparently.
You guys are gonna make me walk over to the game.
It definitely does a multiplier because the color code, it looked like it was the same thing. I think that's just rolling over an end lane, and then you hit a 4-hand orbit to complete it. Is what it is.
Well, I think it's 2 orbits. Like you have to, if you roll over the left end lane, you have to hit the right orbit. And then once you hit that, you have to control it, and to end it, you have to hit the left orbit.
Oh.
So okay. And there's a ramp that's lit that you can hit that and just build it before you end it. There's some.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. There's some stuff here, but I know Travis, you like the meta. You're all about the meta, so it's
yeah.
I'm excited for you guys to.
I don't have the flipper skills that Ray does, or sometimes Tom, so I got to figure out any advantage I can get.
That's fair.
So Joel, you're in my corner then. You're officially my coach. Yeah.
If you wanna, if you're bored one night, I can FaceTime you or something. We can start hitting buttons, and we just won't.
We're gonna figure it out.
We won't tell Tom or Ray. It'll be great.
Well, I'm coming up to Indianapolis anyways next week, so we'll just do it then.
I'll tell my wife, and my buddy Travis is coming over. I'm just gonna let him in the basement. He's just gonna do some stuff down there. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm just hitting buttons.
Yeah, for sure.
No worries.
Well, overall, I mean, Mando, I would say I'm excited, and it sounds like you guys are too. Initial reaction sounds positive, so I'm happy for you guys. I think from a tournament player, I think there's a lot there, and for me, Dwight is a moments guy. He's really good at coding moments, and there's a lot there that I'm excited to experience. But unfortunately, I think it might be time to start wrapping things up here. And I know some of the feedback we got was. There were people that said that they felt that Travis and I interrupted Tom more than we probably should have. So Travis and I, we decided, hey, let's do something. Let's do something for Tom, right? And basically what we're going to do is we're going to shut up. So every episode here, Travis and I are going to do our best to keep our mouth shut, and we're going to call this Tom Talks. Tom Talks. This is a segment. If anybody wants to produce any sort of audio, intro for this, feel free to email us. We have an email now, tripledrain@gmail.com, but feel free. But this is going to be a weekly segment called Tom Talks. And we're really excited about it. Tom, I know you're excited about it. Yeah. Tom, you still awake? Well, Tom has a soundboard. Tom, I'm excited for you, but I'm going to need you to calm down just a little bit so you can get through your segment. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect. So, Travis, we told Tom he's going to have this segment. Tom did not prepare anything for this segment, but Travis, you have a great prompt to feed Tom. So I'm going to say Travis is going to prompt Tom, and then Travis and I are going to be quiet, and we're just going to let Tom go.
All right, perfect. Tom, are you ready for your topic today?
No.
Tom Graf, are you ready for your topic?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. All right, Tom Graf, you love buying limited edition pinball machines from Stern Pinball. You love buying limited edition pinball machines from Jersey Jack Pinball. Why do you hate all of us that buy pros?
God. Didn't you buy Ellie's just not so long ago, and I told you to stop that?
Isn't it because Tom?
This is Tom Talks.
Tom is worried that if he gets a pro, he has to live up to that name. Gets to be a pro. It's a lot of pressure.
I got nothing.
Well, folks, that has been Tom Talks. I'm glad we set aside some time for that. And Raymond, I appreciate you interrupting him. That was the goal. That was everything I expected it to be.
That might have been the best pinball segment in the history of pinball podcast, right there.
I do want to say something, and it goes back to Joel and Dwight Sullivan.
Tom Talks is over. We can interrupt you now.
No.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Travis, do you remember this? We jumped on. We had our Taco Bell, and we
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It's pretty funny.
And we jumped on. We're like, "Hey, Joel, we're in the chat," and Joel's like, "Hey, yeah, Dwight, I have this Triple Drain podcast with Travis Murie and Tom Graf," and like there was like just this.
Yeah.
Dwight's like, I don't care. Let's go back to Mando.
We are
so popular.
Just try to give that shout out, and it's fine. It's fine. Well, that was a great prompt. Tom Talks. I think that's going to be a stellar segment. But what I wanted to say, so the listeners here, we have an email now. It is tripledrain@gmail.com. And I thought it would make sense to do kind of a giveaway here. So the goal here is the first five people that can email tripledrain@gmail.com and give us a solid prompt for Tom Talks next week will receive a personalized photo from Tom Graf himself via email, because Tom is a model. I don't know if people know this, but personalized. Just tell him what you want. He'll write it on a piece of paper, he'll hold it up. We maybe we'll share these on our Facebook page. Yes, we do have a Facebook page, Triple Drain. Look it up, Triple Drain Podcast. But Raymond, I know you're writing your email right now because I know you want your personalized photo from Tom Graf. But yes, I would. Hopefully, we'll get 5. Maybe we'll see. But yeah, guys, I know that's about all I've got. I tried to make a logo. We got a logo now. If anybody, feel free to email. If anybody would actually consider merch, let me know. I'm happy to pursue that, but don't want to waste my time if it's just going to be me and buying one for my kid, my kids or something.
What type of merch would we have?
Oh, just the logo. Throw it on a shirt. It can't compete with the RayDay hat. The RayDay hat is RayDay pinball hat.
You can get that at silverballswag.com.
There we go.
There you go.
Well, guys, I don't know.
Well, let Raymond, talk about his Twitch channel.
Oh, we're getting to plugs. We got Right. I was just gonna say, is there anything else?
You could have used Tom Talks for that, Tom.
Tom, yeah, you had free reign, and you ended with I don't have anything, right? So he'll save it up for next week.
Perfect.
But by next week, I mean, we're doing this like once a month. So you've got plenty of time to think. But yeah, I would say, believe it or not, we did a lot better staying on topic this week. It was Zach a
little bit easier talking to Raymond. We kind of knew we weren't going to veer off into bathwater or hot tub talk, which is good.
Yeah.
So, and Tom was a lot more calm.
He was
this time around. So that helped out a lot.
It's because we were recording a little earlier, so I thought he gets slap happy if we wait another hour. He gets a little tired. I don't know.
That's true.
Raymond, were you offended at all as a TPN person that Zach did not want to be in a hot tub with you?
What?
Yeah. Okay, we'll leave it at that. That's fair.
I must have blocked that part of the show out of my memory.
Yeah, we asked him which TPN members you'd be willing to be in a hot tub with, and you weren't one of them. I wasn't either. It's fine.
None of us were.
None of us were. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fine. I'm not offended. It's all right.
I could see Travis with like the kid floaties on his arms.
Oh boy,
dude. When I go hot tubbing, I go hot tubbing. That's not the meta anymore on Twitch, though. Tom, did you know that?
What is the meta now?
What is
the meta? Is legitimately okay. So again, I didn't come up with this. All right. So that's the disclaimer here. So you guys do not judge me because I know this. This was all over the news. that evidently I'm the only one that read.
Okay.
But so apparently the Twitch meta now is ASMR, but licking the microphone and acting like it's somebody's ear.
No,
oh, that's sick.
I kid you not. It got like 15 or 25,000 concurrent viewers on each stream, and Twitch had to ban the women that were doing it. Kid you not. That's the new meta.
Oh boy.
So you guys get your mics and your ears out and put them on Pinball stream. There you go.
Start licking mics. Great. Well,
this thing.
Travis, great, very usul information. Appreciate it.
I was like, we can't end on that, please.
Yeah. Very well. Unfortunately, the reason we're doing this early is because Raymond is actually about to go stream. So I don't know, Ray, if you want to just put your condenser mic just a little bit closer to your mouth. But no, I don't. Guys, we drained Zach last time. I don't know if it's. Do we need to do that? Do we need to take a talk about Ray? I think Ray did a great job.
Absolutely.
Ray did pretty good today.
Pretty good. Okay.
He did pretty good.
Ray,
it's like he's done a podcast before.
I don't think we're gonna necessarily drain you, Ray, but I think maybe you're like in the out lane and we are aggressively nudging to try to keep you in. How about, is that fair? So the verdict's still out. Is that a fair? We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. Well, let's do some quick plugs. Ray, you go first. You're the guest.
RayDay Pinball on Twitch, also on YouTube, also on, I don't know, just the internet. So, yeah, check out
Do or Die podcast.
Yeah, solid podcast.
Yeah, you can find all that stuff at raydaypinball.com. We'll give you links to all my different channels, so check that out. I like to stream Sundays usually in the evening, anywhere between 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. Central. I can start somewhere around that time, but if you follow me, you'll get notifications. So, hope to see you in chat.
Awesome. Tom? Go.
Well, when I'm not currently at my modeling gig, you can find me on Twitch at Fox Cities Pinball, also on YouTube at Fox Cities Pinball, and Instagram and Facebook at Fox Cities Pinball.
Perfect. Travis, go for it.
And you can find me on YouTube at Marv Loco, or on TPN at, what's her name again? Are we going Triple Drain still?
Triple Drain is a great name.
Triple Drain.
It's a great name. And Marv,
on the record, off the record.
Yeah, I got to really appreciate all the shout outs you've been given in your YouTube videos there, Travis, with Triple Drain.
Hey, hey, I did it once. I might have forgotten the first time, but I came back around to it.
No, I appreciate it. And yeah, I am Joel Engelberth, Just Another Pinball Podcast, Just Another Pinball Stream. If there's anything I can do for you, justanotherpinball@gmail.com. Otherwise, yeah, we have an email now. So we'd love to see some. Like I said, race, get in there, throw us some ideas. Tom's ready to take some pics. Let me tell you, they're gonna be great. And that's triple drain at gmail.com. But episode 2, technically episode 3, and it was a fun one, guys. Appreciate everybody hopping on. Thanks a bunch, Ray.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
All right,
Thank you.
We'll do this again in a few weeks, and look forward to the feedback. And everybody have a great night. See ya.